All right, y'all. Okay. I'm just driving to find a spot where I can just build with y'all for a minute. Okay. It's kind of quiet over here. And then I'll go outside in a minute and talk to y'all a little bit about what I'm doing here. Um, so, about 2018 is when I got initially involved with the United Nations. And if you've been checking my social media, you've probably seen over time me posting different things about working along with the United Nations. And I got connected through the United Nations through working on the Enslaved docuseries with Samuel L. Jackson and Simca Jakovovich. And when we produced that 6-part docuseries, that docuseries was officially screened through the United Nations and all of its different member states. So when that happened, I had an opportunity to start making my first visits here at the United Nations and to actually be involved. And it was through that I got an opportunity to work with the International Civic Society Working Group, which is a mechanism, a part of the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. Peace, Mike. So what is a Permanent Forum on People of African Descent? Some time ago, through the Durban Declaration that was created through the United Nations, it was realized that when you look at the globe and the global majority of people being black and brown within every nation, you have people who will be classified as people of African descent or Afro descendants in every nation around the world. And when you define or classify issues that are being addressed or that are concerns with people of Afro descendants or people of African descent in a nation, a lot of times we frame those issues as civil rights. And what happens is when you frame issues as civil rights issues, the jurisdiction of your civil rights are within that nation. So what ends up happening is other nations don't want to trespass against or intrude upon the affairs that are going on with the nation internally. So that oftentimes becomes a flaw when you classify rights that are going on with your people or your designated group as civil rights. Because what happens is it limits your connections to other nations because they look at it as if it's not a human rights issue. So the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent was created to specifically address the issues of Afro descendants or people of African descent in every nation around the world, because it was recognized that we have unique issues and concerns, whether we're here in America, whether we are in Colombia, whether we are in Ecuador or Japan or Mexico or Norway, anywhere on the planet, there are people who look just like me that if I was in those various different countries and walking around, people wouldn't necessarily know if I was indigenous or a citizen there or not until I open up my mouth. So the General Assembly of the United Nations created what is called the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. And this forum, or this established board, was created to specifically address the issues of our people in every nations or throughout the diaspora all around the world. Now, how could they successfully do that? Where could they get the proper information and the work that's being done addressing our people in various different locations around the world? The Permanent Forum on People of African Descent had to create what is known as an International Civic Society Working Group. So this International Civic Society Working Group is composed of us in every nation around the world that are working in various different capacities, that are subject matter experts in various different industries, that come together for annual sessions in order to bring our research and our work together in order to inform our Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. What are the priorities that need to be addressed with our people around the world? So in other words, I'm here and I'm addressing various different delegates from various different nations, or their ambassadors, or other people who are working on behalf of representing those nations on my expertise and experience in terms of what I think are priorities when it comes to addressing the issues with our people. So we have not only sessions in the General Assembly and in various different conference spaces, but we also have side sessions where we have experts that might be doing a forum on reparatory justice, or about reparations over here, or you may have a session that is being specifically addressed about Black maternal health in South Sudan. You might have a session that's going on about immigration and ICE in Minnesota. You may have a session or people that are speaking from the perspective of being Costa Rican and the Afro-Indigenous people who are there, their land being taken and used for the benefit of tourism. Like, you have so many of our people that come from all around the world together for a common cause in order to address the various different issues with our people. And the beauty of this is sometimes our ways in which we define ourselves can limit and disconnect us from our people around the world. So there's many of us who here in America may simply define ourselves as African American, and we localize or limit our identity, not realizing that, if you went to Japan, you're gonna see people that look just like you. They speak Japanese, but in that language they speaking, they are still communicating racism and anti-Blackness and a lot of the issues that our people are actually dealing with in Japan. That because you're thinking that you're just an African American, you wouldn't identify or connect with your people who look just like you, but just simply speak a different language. So this Permanent Forum brings together people from all around the world that look just like me, that are working in various different industries, in various different capacities, that are all striving to bring about a unity or a unified solution to what's going on with our people around the world. So this is the fourth session of the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. I've participated in all four sessions. Last year, I was in Geneva, Switzerland, because that is the location of where they had our Permanent Forum then. This year, we're here in NYC, or New York City. And then willfully, the next session that we have is going to be on the continent, or Brazil, or somewhere else. But it's beautiful to be able to be in a space like this. I'm a person that already thinks global in terms of knowing and understanding who I am as an original man. But there's many of our people who may think that the issues that we have that are going on with us in our country, or even in our states, or in our counties, or in our cities, or little small municipalities, is just simply unique to us. But many people that think like that, it gives them an opportunity to come and connect with their people from all around the world, realizing that, this quest for freedom and justice and equality is something that we all desire. and that our stories are universal in terms of colonialism, in terms of displacement, in terms of the oppression that we see. And we're not alone. We are not alone. So it is an honor to be a part of a civic society working group that is international, and to be honored in terms of my experience and expertise to be able to inform people that can take those recommendations to their countries, to their nations, and to make it applicable in terms of what needs to be addressed. So when we come together for these 3 days of these various different working sessions, we eventually draft our recommendations. And when we draft our recommendations, we prioritize what do we think are the main concerns that need to be addressed. And then once we draft that document is given to our permanent forum on people of African descent. And what that forum actually does, or what that board does, is they begin to disseminate our recommendations to all of the member states within the United Nations. So, for example, one of the priorities that we were able to codify last year when we were in Geneva was the issues with the instability of what's going on in Haiti with our people there. So we were able to prioritize that and then share those recommendations with our permanent forum. And then the permanent forum started to disseminate those recommendations to the member states around the world so that they can start activating what we see as recommendations for addressing what's happening with our people in Haiti. That was just one recommendation. Another one is Black maternal health. That's not just happening here in America, but that issue of Black maternal health is happening in many different places. Haiti, is happening in South Sudan, it's happening in Iran, it's happening in many different nations. So we were able to identify that is another priority that needs to be addressed with our people. So it's been great being down here. And, I've also had an opportunity to meet more of our people in different places. One of the things that I've also been doing is striving to record short interviews of some of the people that I've been coming in contact with, so that I can give those of you a sense of not only the diversity, but just the wide spectrum of identity of our people and the important work that we're doing all over the world. Many of you have never seen a person of Mexican descent who looked just like me. You may have this idea based upon what you see on television and on social media of what a so-called person from Mexico looks like. But there are people who look just like me that are native to Mexico. The same thing with being in Spain or all of these other different nations. So it's important that I share this type of information with those of you, because many of you may not go and travel to different places and think that you are not present there. But we are present all over the planet as the first world people and as a global majority. And at these sessions of the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent gives us an opportunity to connect with one another from all over the world and see that our concerns and our issues are not just specific or unique to being here on American soil. There are many of our people who are dealing with the same exact things in many different places. And it's important that we understand that, because if we are just beholden to the mainstream media or what we're seeing on social media because of the way the algorithm is, there are a lot of ways in which we are going to be disconnected from our people. So I just wanted to take a moment and share some of that. I'm getting ready to go outside right here in the plaza area. And in the plaza area, you get a chance to see some of our folks. This is lunchtime right now. We have a break for about a couple of hours before we head back in for some other sessions. Oh, this is the Elvin Ailey dance session. show this. Hold on.
Good. Let's take the hands to the shoulders and take them up. Let's take the shoulders